Friendly readers, I am happy to present to you a Storytime special presentation of the Grimm brothers fairy tale, The Three Golden Hairs.
Once upon a time, a beautiful little girl was born to a poor man and his wife. A wise old woman in the village saw the baby and said,
"This child is specially blessed. She will always be lucky, and when she is 18, she will be queen of the land."
It happened that the real queen heard about the prophecy.
I am the queen. There can be no other.
Then she put on a disguise and went to the poor man and his wife and said in a friendly way,
Give me your child, and I will raise her with great care.
The queen offered them a bag of gold, and the poor parents gave up their luck child, believing that no real harm could ever come to her.
Good riddance.
The baby floated gently down the river to a mill. The good miller and his wife were delighted with the little girl and raised her as their own daughter. She was a kind, clever child, and they blessed the day that they found her. 18 years later, the queen was traveling to a great ball in the next kingdom when a thunderstorm broke loose, forcing her to take shelter in a nearby mill. The miller and his wife were honored to have the queen in their house, and they had their adopted child serve her tea.
Is this lovely girl your daughter?
We think of her as our daughter, even though she is not our own. 18 years ago, I pulled her from the water when she was only a baby.
What?
At once, the queen realized that this was the very child whom she thought she drowned, and she wanted to get rid of the girl.
Could your daughter take a letter to the king for me?
It would be our honor. Dear King, she wrote, when this young woman arrives at the castle, kill her at once, for she is a wicked witch from your queen. The journey was long, and when darkness fell, the girl became lost in the forest. After many hours of wandering, she saw a light in the house. She knocked at the door, and an old woman opened it.
This is a robber's house. Go away before they come home and do you harm.
I must deliver a letter to the king. I'm lost and tired. Please help me.
The old woman was curious about the letter, so she took the girl in and fed her and put her to bed. When the robbers returned, at first they were angry with the old woman. Then they too became curious about the letter. They opened it and read it. That queen is tricking this young woman. Let's fix the mean old thing. The leader sat down and wrote another letter. Dear King, when this young woman arrives at the castle, marry her to our son. Do not wait for my return. From your queen. The leader burned the first letter and put the second in its place as the young woman slept. In the morning, she thanked her hosts and left for the castle, where she delivered the robber's letter. The king thought it strange that the queen would not want to be at the prince's wedding, but she must have her reasons, he thought, and he had the marriage performed. When the queen returned, she saw that her plan had gone wrong, and she decided to get rid of the new princess in some other way.
You must prove to me that you truly love my son. Go find the devil and bring back 3 golden hairs from his beard.
The princess took a horse and wagon and started out. Soon she came to a town where the guard asked her, "Who are you and what do you know?"
I know everything.
"Then tell me why our fountain, which used to pour forth red wine, now doesn't even give water."
I shall tell you when I return.
In the next town, the guard asked her, "Who are you and what do you know?"
I know everything.
"Then tell me why our apple tree, which used to bear golden apples, now doesn't even have leaves."
I shall tell you when I return.
At last she came to a river and asked a ferryman to take her across. "Who are you and what do you know?"
I know everything.
"Then tell me why I must ferry back and forth, and never be relieved."
I shall tell you when I return.
After a while, she came to the devil's house. He was not at home, but his grandmother greeted her.
You are so young and beautiful. Go away or the devil will harm you.
I have come to get 3 golden hairs from his beard, and I have 3 questions to ask.
She told her questions to the old woman.
In that case, stay. But I shall have to use my magic to hide you from the devil.
She thought for a moment, and then changed the princess into an owl.
Now just sit here and keep your ears open.
The devil came home and had a big meal. As usual, he sat down to drink some wine and listen to his grandmother's tales. They made him sleepy. Soon, he began to snore. What is it?
I dreamed about a fountain. It used to give red wine, but not anymore. Why?
Because a frog sits at the bottom of the fountain. Oh! What is it?
I dreamed about an apple tree. It used to bear golden apples, but not anymore. Why?
Because a mouse is eating one of its roots. Oh! What is it now?
I dreamed about a ferryman. He goes back and forth, and no one ever relieves him. What should he do?
Give the oar to the next passenger and run. Now leave me alone or I'll... In the morning, when the devil had left, the grandmother turned the owl back to a young princess. and gave her the 3 golden hairs.
Leave quickly. You have the answers.
After the ferryman had taken the young woman across the river, she said,
Give your next passenger the oar and run.
at the town with the apple tree, she told the people the answer to their question. At the town with the fountain, she told the people the answer to their question. And the people from each town gave her a sack of gold. So the lucky princess returned home not only with the 3 golden hairs from the devil, but also with 2 sacks of gold. The prince was delighted to see his bride. She gave the 3 golden hairs to the queen, who was still determined to get rid of the young woman. But at the moment, she was more interested in the gold, for she was very greedy.
Where did you get all that gold, dear?
Oh, I crossed the river on a ferry. On the farther shore, gold lies like sand. I scooped this up.
Can I get some too?
As much as you like. Just take the ferry.
No time to waste. Row me across the river, quickly.
The ferryman took her to the other shore, then placed the oar in her hand and ran away. And there the queen has been condemned to row back and forth, ever since. So, since the old queen had disappeared, things happened just as the wise old village woman had predicted 18 years before. The good luck child became queen. She was just and generous to her people, and they loved her. The old queen had been hated by everyone. No one missed her at all, and no one ever tried to find out what had become of her.